Hey kid, it's Dad. Today's question is, what's your name? Today we are venturing into the world of Thai names. And let me tell you, there's some weird, wild stuff. This question came from a subscriber who has a common Thai nickname in his handle. Tangmo, this one's for you. For us to get to the wacky names like milk and shampoo and four-wheel and all kinds of fun stuff like that, it's worth taking a little bit of time to find out how we got there. For the longest time, people in Thailand did not have surnames. Because Thailand was so dispersed and a lot of the countryside didn't have a lot of infrastructure, it didn't really cause a problem when people had the same name. This problem really didn't become apparent until Rama V, the first king to really try to do a census. So many people all have the same name, he's having trouble keeping them all straight. And then his successor comes along, Rama VI. He was cut from the same cloth. He was also pretty progressive. He said, all right, we're going to solve this naming problem. And in 1913, he sets forth this naming law. He says everybody's going to have a surname from now on. And he did something that was really interesting. He said that everybody's surname is going to be different. There's going to be only one name per family. That sounds like a pretty cool idea. Can you imagine if there's only one Smith? But you might see a problem of the million Smiths there are there. Well, that means there's going to be a million different names now. There's only so many ways that you can change the spelling. You know, it's one thing you can do. Then after that, you know, what are you going to do? Maybe you can add something, add another name. You wind up piling names on top of each other. So you'll have Smith-Jones or Smithson. Well, the same kind of thing happened with Thai, except at a whole other level. So that's the surname. So that's why we got these really long, complicated surnames here. Now, what about the given first name? Well, they tend to use old words. Old vernacular tends to be a bit more flowery. It sounds pretty. Take your mom's name, for example. So her real name, that's what you say in Thai. It's Chu-Jing is your real name, your long first name. And Chu-Len, Len is play, so nickname is play name, Chu-Len. So her given name is Tirarat. Tira means daughter, but it's an old word for daughter. It's old Thai. And Rat means favorite, so it's favored daughter. A lot of Thai given names are like that. And there's no rules about repeating a first name. There's plenty of people with the same first name. And there's a rhythm to the two names. You have fairly equal syllables in the first and last names. So you're going to have a long pair. Now, you won't feel bad about giving your kid a long given name because you know that is not the name that's going to be used most often. Every single person from the most common commoner up to the king has a nickname. How do you get the nicknames? Well, there's a few different ways. Some of them are planned out. There's naming conventions just like in any family. Again, taking your mom, for example, all the kids have a J name. Her brother is Jock, she's Joy. It might be a combination of mom and dad's name. That's another common thing. If mom's name is Nam and dad's name is Tok, you know that kid's going to be named Nam Tok because Nam is water, Tok is fall, so Nam Tok is waterfall. It's not always going to be another word. Take a name like Pin Fa. Pin is an instrument. Fa is sky. So sky instrument isn't really a thing, but Pin and Fa are both nicknames of their own. So that's probably two people in the family. Each had those names and they got put together to make the nickname. Animals are really popular. Vegetables and fruits are really popular, like Tangmo. Tangmo is watermelon. We've already talked about cow, because cow is really ubiquitous, and there's all kinds of different cow nicknames. There's tough names, tough animal names, like Suh, but they're not always pretty. And you can have animals that are not known for their beauty be common nicknames too, like Ma, dog. Mu is pig. Gulp is a popular one. Gulp means frog. So why would you want to name your kid some unattractive animal? Well, this being Thailand, there is some superstition behind it. The idea is if you give your kid a name of an unattractive animal, the spirit, spirit or ghost, is not going to be interested in them. But I keep teasing you about the fun ones. Let's talk about some of the weird ones. How do we wind up with names like girl or boss or bank? Where do these come from? Well, I wish I could make it more glamorous than it is, but it's not. The fact of the matter is the words sound interesting. They have just an interesting ring to them. Let's say that you spent some time in Thailand and you named your kid Nam or Phone, Phang, Ploy. These are all really super common names. Imagine if you used one of these names and maybe you didn't know what it meant, you just thought that it sounded nice. Well, that's how you wind up with some of these weird English words being, they're not weird words, but they're weird when they're used as names. Things like copy. That's another thing too, the English word gets its own Thai spin on it. So the wacky names, they just sounded interesting. Maybe they knew that bank had something to do with money. The word for money, ngun, is a fairly common nickname. Or they knew that boss is somebody important because puyai, it's a person in charge. And I've heard that as a name before too. And that's how you wind up with things like ice cream. Ice cream sounds interesting. And another category is having nicknames that are given either by the family or by friends that have something to do with the character of the person. If you ever meet somebody named Gam, look at their face. Do they have big cheeks? They probably do, because that's what Gam means. You might have a kid that is always running around named Zwing. His wing means run. So it could be tradition, it could be something related to the kid and how the kid behaves, or when the kid was born, what day it was, what order the kid was born in. You'll see kids named Nung, which is one, or it could be related to family name. And sometimes it could just be a unique circumstance. That was the case with my name. I have my Thai name because the name that I had didn't work in Thai. Now that's going to be an unfortunate situation for a lot of folks that want to spend some time here or want to retire here. There's going to be a lot of names that don't work in Thai because of the pronunciation rules of the Thai language. Anything with the hard final consonant is going to be difficult. Like if your name is Pete, you will never hear that t sound. If your name is Frank, you hear how I follow through with a little air on that K on the end of Frank. They don't do that here. Here it's going to be Frank. That's if you have a name that doesn't mean something else here. It might mean something that you don't want. So let's say that your name is Jim. Well, Jim is the impolite word for female genitals. So if your name is Jim, word to the wise, go by James when you're here. It's not always that bad, although, it can still be something that you might want to think about changing, like a name like Leah. Leah is a pretty name, and it's something that can be pronounced in Thai, but it means lick. It's kind of a crapshoot. And people can have different nicknames with different people. Mom and dad might call their kid Nu. It's a really common thing to call a kid, but they might be Ploy to everybody else. So that's going to do it for this one, kid. In case you never asked, because it was just so common, something you don't even think about, that's why you got your name, and that's how your friends got their names, and how I got mine, and your mom got hers. If you like what we're doing, give us a like, drop a subscribe. We hope to see you again. And for you, kid, until the next video, I'll see you later.